smart enough to not do that.
Well, it's not smart. It's just angled. But I guess that makes it smart.
Generally, like, anyways.
So it's fine the way it is. Or
It's up to Justin.
yeah, that's why I was like,
That's
Justin
fine the
didn't
way
seem to
it
be paying any
is.
attention at all.
Yeah, no, I'm just checking the final logistics of streaming.
I was saying,
All
should I
about
put my
that Twitch.
headset on, or
About
am I?
that Twitch.
We're live now. I'm just trying to figure out why
Okay,
Twitch
so
is...
send me a link because people in my house want to watch this.
Sure.
Oh god.
/ Source of Chaos. Because you're playing FIFA 14.
Oh, we're on YouTube. We're not on Twitch.
Well, I'm also on Twitch, but the Twitch one doesn't seem to be working right now.
It says you're playing FIFA right now.
Me?
Yep. On
Yeah,
Twitch.
it does.
Stop it.
Now is not the time.
Now is not the time.
Not the time.
Not the time.
Not the time.
Apparently your viewers may be experiencing... Ensure your rate is fast enough. Consider using a lower bit rate. Health is good. One second.
Are you
We're
ready?
hearing some kind of echoes here.
Yeah.
Well, we're back.
1 second. I had to bring the stream down for a bit.
Oh, that might have been me because I was watching the stream.
Yes, you brought it down. You broke YouTube.
Oh no!
Way to go, asshole.
You just clipped so hard when you said "way to go."
Yeah.
We basically just heard static.
Stop streaming. Stop.
Give me the
1 second. I had to
goddamn
bring the
link.
Stream down for a bit.
Oh yeah, Justin, it's because I was on / Source of Chaos because I'm a dummy.
Yeah,
Go.
that would do it.
Yep. It says you're streaming the Casual Nerdcast.
Yes, that is true. Okay, but everything... I just want to make sure everything's okay first. Please just hold off.
I could be playing Bioshock right now.
I could be watching you play Bioshock right now.
No, you couldn't because it's on the PlayStation 3.
Well, you can twist your webcam and I could watch you play Bioshock right now.
No, the
Yeah.
PS3's in the basement, Amel.
That's your own
Come on,
Oh.
man. Get your head in the game. This is the podcasting time.
Oh my god.
Then you shouldn't be wishing to play Bioshock right now.
Yeah.
It's not
I
nice.
started playing the DLC, Burial at Sea, and man,
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, I love Rapture so much.
It is pretty sweet.
I
Man.
finished the first part.
Something
now-
something is wrong with the Twitch stream, actually. I don't know what's wrong with Twitch. Unless you guys can see it on Twitch. I don't know if I can't see it on Twitch, but...
I did for a bit.
Alright. Well...
It's just YouTube. YouTube's more normal anyway.
Alright.
Not
That
more.
way you-
I provided 2 links everywhere, so I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Okay. I was gonna say you also don't have to split your bandwidth that way.
Yeah, but I'm doing it on RTMP. That's fine. don't
I'm
worry.
watching it on Twitch, but it's really, really choppy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I just refreshed
Okay.
it and it's like quite slow, jittery.
Okay.
Yo, get better internet, man.
Well, anyways, people can watch it on YouTube because that actually looks fantastic.
Yep.
Alright,
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
I'm sharing the link now.
Alright, share the
We
YouTube
done?
link now.
Peace.
For those of us watching right now, please bear with us. We are now just advertising our brand.
Also, I just heard my I guess what you call radio voice, Justin. It is quite nice.
What is?
My voice, as in
Oh,
I
it
just
is.
heard it.
It is a It sounds gorgeous.
Thank you. I like hearing that.
So, like, full and lustrous.
Whatever that means.
But yeah, so headset or no? Like I don't know if this is gonna be a problem at all. Justin.
Justin
Oh, it's a
said-
problem.
I wasn't sure what.
Ammo, you are an independent man with independent decisions and values and opinions. You do what you believe is best in your best interest.
But my actions may directly impact the Nerdcast. I'm okay with that.
We're casual.
Oh. All right.
Our 5 independent individual characteristics represent the Nerdcast.
Ah.
So whatever you do is you're damaging your own brand.
All right. And fuck what these things. For my headphones. Hey, sorry, speakers. Anyway.
Yeah, fuck the police.
Fuck the audio.
I'm gonna make it clear that we completely respect the police. Anything Andrew says regarding the police is completely independent.
Do drugs.
I'm not taking these.
Don't do drugs. And be nice. Be nice to not just be nice to people.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Zoe's like our #1 fan right now.
So he's always been a #1 fan, bro.
Zoe is literally the best.
Zoe gets a shout out because she's like dedicated. Anyways,
Zoe's just okay.
Better be watching this, man, right now.
I think she is. I'm following on the YouTube stream right now, so it looks like we're doing good. But anyways, let's kick things off. You did not come here to listen to our regular banter. We are back from our holiday break, from doing what we were doing for our holiday break, whether it involves
Being sick,
school exams, work-related activities,
Robin Banks.
robbing, in Andrew's case, robbing banks.
We just said we're not going to fuck the police.
Anything Andrew says is completely Andrew's opinion. We are not accomplices.
No, what he says is my opinion. I'm in his head.
Yeah. Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes, says Taylor Swift. Bang, bang.
And I'm lost.
All right, so we're canceled. And as per usual, welcome to the Casual Nerdcast. We have not changed at all, and will always be casual, as per usual, except for our clothing maybe from time to time.
I self-identify as Asian in the year 2015, actually.
My apologies. Welcome, brother.
Welcome to supermarkets.
All right, so everyone, just introduce yourselves.
No.
I'm Evan.
Not all at once.
I like fudge and pie.
Okay.
Cool.
And Amel.
But you just introduced me.
I don't care.
Okay, hi. I'm wearing the suit I graduated in because it's the only suit I own.
Andrew?
I don't like pie, but I really like the pie crust. I eat the pie, and then the pie crust is like my reward. I'm like really backwards.
And Alex.
I feel like we would fit well together because I do not like the pie crust and I feed it to my dog, so...
We'll have pie together.
It's a date.
All right, and I'm Justin, and tonight is a special night. He's back.
That's
great
how special
timing.
the night is.
Oh, that's how special the night is. It's so special that Andrew had to drop out for a bit. But anyways, tonight we are presenting to you our games of the year, which vary from anything that starts from January 1st, 2014, up until December 31st, 2014. 11:59. If you released a game at 11:58, I apologize. I probably didn't play it.
Their fault.
I don't apologize. Release a game at a better time, asshole.
All right.
No marketing.
What were you doing New Year's Eve? Releasing a game?
Dealing with deployment. So basically, you're going to go through the categories real quick. We'll have best soundtrack, most surprising game of the year, and for the ambiguous aspect of it, it is in a positive manner. Apparently, we had a big discussion whether or not the surprise was either
just
a
because
positive
Alex
surprise.
doesn't understand English doesn't mean that our viewers.
But that was Amel's question!
It was before we started. It doesn't count.
We also have flop of the year. Pretty self-explanatory. Late to the party, which is something that
It's
was
so hard not to make a penis joke.
It's okay. We already did.
Gross.
So hard.
Late to the Party, which is a game that wasn't released this year, but we started playing this year. Best developer, worst developer. Games I couldn't play because, well, let's be honest, we couldn't go through all of the games. And then we go through the top 5 of each individual person, and then we have our ultimate top 3 where we will duke it out and figure out which 3 games deserve our ultimate Nerdcast award. If developers take that in pleasure, feel free. I'll send the PNG, and you can put it on your game case or whatever. I don't know.
You better have a picture now.
Yeah, I mean we have it. Well, we'll send them our icon, and then they can quote this award show, and then they could be like, "Oh yeah, ultimate Nerdcast top 3," because it's a pretty big deal. All right.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we should start on our first category. So this category is best soundtrack. No need for explanation. Music, background music, that kind of stuff. Some games make us cry, some games don't. Depends on the music. That's my opinion. All right, who wants to go first?
We could stick to the order that you introduced us in.
Sure. All right. Then I guess that'll be me then.
Oh. No.
All right. So, my best soundtrack actually goes to one of Ubisoft's games. Child of Light. Child of Light actually captivated me from the first trailer that I saw it back in 2013. And I was actually really interested. I was really captivated by the music. And actually, when I played the game, it felt very immersive. Felt very much like a fairy tale. And I feel like Child of Light, it has a very good, heavy component. Like, the music is very important in that game. And it's what makes it feel magical, mystical, and it actually feels like a fairy tale. And that's why I for my best soundtrack, I gave it to Child of Light.
Yeah. Written by Claude Piret. She's a French musician. She's really good.
The entire soundtrack?
Yeah. Cool. I mean, like Heart of the Pirate.
Nice.
What it is.
Oh,
translated.
her!
Yeah.
Wonderful and adorable.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds like somebody else's favorite soundtrack is from Child of Light.
All right. Best soundtrack, Evan.
For me, I chose Lethal League.
Oh man, yo, that game's so fun.
Yeah, the game's fantastic.
Oh
and
my
the
God.
soundtrack is just so so this soundtrack is just fun. It's just insanely fun. Like it's crazy shit happening all the time, like really amazing beats, I guess. I don't know. It's the one thing it's one of those soundtracks that's just constantly stuck in my head. Right? So to me and stuck in my head in a good way. So to me that just kind of makes it like basically instant game of the year. Sorry.
Whoa.
Hey, whoa.
Whoa,
best
we're not there
soundtrack.
yet.
Just because of that, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty. I just love the way it sounds. It fits the theme of the game perfectly. Yeah, it's great.
That's good. Good
Yeah.
choice. I will definitely check that out. Emil, your best soundtrack.
As weird as this will sound, well, actually, I would go with Battle Block Theater because it was goddamn
God.
hilarious. I'm sure Alex knows what I'm talking about. I've heard a few people doing like random podcasts and videos and stuff, and anytime I hear even a snippet of the music, I instantly know it's from Battle Block. It's so damn catchy. It's meant to be silly. It's meant to be over the top. It's not meant to be an epic soundtrack by any means. That would be something like Titanfall. But it was hilarious. I loved it. I still can't get it out of my head, and I haven't played the game in like 5 months. So I'd say that goes to me. A game that I bought for $2, played with my brother for about 4 hours, and it still captivates me.
Nice.
Awesome. There's actually a bunch that I was thinking about, but I think mine has to go to Transistor, just because, like, it's got similar to Child of Light. It's very integral. Like the main protagonist is a singer, so music's a big deal, and it's just like, it's just pumps you up for the game. It really sets the rhythm for the whole thing and makes it all touchy-feely when it's touchy-feely and makes it all actiony when it's actiony. It's just great. And Darren Korb is awesome.
Was it anything like Bastion in the sense that?
No, it's much more electronic.
Okay, no, but I mean the sense of almost wonder. Like if
Yeah.
Bastion was released this year, that would have been my pick.
Yeah.
Because it was wonderful, and I haven't played Transistor. But like, was it in the same vein? Just beautiful, captivating.
In the same spirit, I would say.
But obviously more.
It's completely different technically. It's like I said, it's much more electronic and beat driven. But
Right.
it makes you. It doesn't make you go like whoa. It makes you go like yeah. If that makes sense.
It sort of does, yeah. If you've played either game, I'm sure it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So, Alex, what is your choice?
Well, it was a tough decision. Transistor was definitely like really close to the top of my list, but had to give the winner to Shovel Knight. Man, like I love NES games, and honestly, like this is one of the like few games I played where I thought the soundtrack was better than the game, and I thought the game was amazing. So like I thought the soundtrack was even better. It was like a really catchy chiptune type thing. Like I'm not even gonna try and explain it because it's like way better just to hear it. So I would recommend listening to it when you get the chance. It's very catchy. Yeah, Shovel Knight, great soundtrack.
Nice. I am actually pretty glad we all got different answers for this.
Yeah, that was
I
surprising.
almost picked Transistor. I was literally like,
Yeah.
flip a coin.
Thanks to a coin. All right, so now we're going to move on to our next category. Most surprising game of the year. So this game was something, well, surprising is obviously up to your own standards. So, you could be surprised in many ways. So I guess you can see from my example that rather than tell you what it is, I'm going to give a bit of background story. This game is a game that comes out every year. Everyone's usually pretty disappointed about it.
Oh boy.
And then, everyone's just like got a set expectation for it. And this category has been going down the drain every single year. And this is the one year where I would say I actually bought the game for about $40, $45. I played through it. I was actually pleasantly surprised by its innovative single player. Well, in many, each mission has its own kind of thing. It didn't feel boring. It actually felt kind of nice. Multiplayer seems kind of cool. Basically, you're given loadouts that. Okay, it's Call of Duty: Advanced Warfare.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So basically, the
So
one thing
brave.
I know. Man, I'm nervous just talking about it. But it's the multiplayer was actually interesting in the sense that the loadouts, they're not the same for every player, right? So you basically have a set number that you a capacity you can call it, and then within that capacity, you're allowed to kind of juggle between whether I want more perks, whether I want more guns, whether I want more attachments and stuff. So from each person to each person, they're not going to have the exact same kind of thing.
But can you choose more dude, bro?
Maybe you can. I haven't gone that far yet. I'm only level 12 or 13 in the multiplayer or something.
If you pick more dude, bro, anytime you kill someone, you just dump a beer on their face.
No, not beer. Mountain Dew. All your Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Eat your double XP weekend.
All right, so Evan, what is your most surprising game of the year?
So I actually just changed mine 30 seconds ago, because I realized there was something that I forgot about. So initially, it was World of Warcraft, Warlords of Draenor, but now it's South Park Stick of Truth, because I forgot that game came out this year. So South Park Stick of Truth, that game flat out, so it wasn't surprising in that I pissed myself laughing whenever I played it. But it was really surprising in that it was actually a good game. I mean, Obsidian's good at making games, but let's be honest, they make a lot of shit. And whenever they tend to make things, they just end up not being that great. They're broken in terms of bugs. They're they're known as sequel destroyers with like KOTOR 2, and I think they also made the Dungeon Siege game as well. They're just not very great at it. And them actually bringing out a solid RPG that was really funny to boot and just had good gameplay mechanics. I was really impressed with it, and it surprised me. Also, Andrew, you eating that Reese, when I saw it, I could actually like smell Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh,
in my
Reese's
room.
are so good.
I don't know how that happened, but it was.
Right.
You're a wizard. But yeah, so South Park: Stick of Truth. That game just really surprised me.
Oh, excellent. All right, Amal, what is your most surprising game of the year?
Mine's in a neutral and a good way. I dove right into... actually, here, bit of backstory. In our first or second podcast, we were talking about our favorite games, or what we kind of enjoy. For me, it was Metal Gear Solid all the way. So this year, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance came out on PC. It came out last year on consoles, but it came out this year on PC, and I played it this year. So it's a 2014 game. I went into it without reading anything about it, just knowing it was a Platinum game. Dove right in expecting at least a bit of stealth gameplay. I was absurdly surprised, and at the same time very pleasantly surprised at how tight the actual sword and gunplay was. I was like, I never expected this.
There were guns in that game?
Explosive weapons, stuff like that.
Okay.
You still had an aiming system, but you
I
didn't
had
have...
a sword that cut through anything. I just go, this is great.
There are guns in this game, but I have a knife.
After my first playthrough, there were no more guns in that game once you upgrade your weapon to the max. Yeah, I hadn't played a Platinum game before. I had heard lots of good things about Bayonetta, so I just kind of dove in saying, oh, it's probably a mixture of like MGS and some fancy footwork and some fancy like hack and slash. It was purely hack and slash, and it was so damn fun.
Yeah.
Really tightly tuned combat. Obviously, you need a controller. Really freaking fun. And it surprised me in every way. Plus, they kept silly things like, so you're a badass, almost invincible, augmented robot dude with a sword? Here, have a cardboard box.
Yeah.
You could still stealth if you wanted. There was just no point to it. So I went in with all the wrong expectations and came out with all the right feelings. And I loved it.
Yeah,
I put about probably 30 hours into the game. I beat it 2 or 3 times. And the soundtrack was very, very close to being top contender too, just because of those insane boss battle music.
And it has the most American ending to any game ever.
America's the final. You fight America.
They argue for 10 minutes about politics.
I still think Black Ops has the best the most American ending.
Yeah, that's fair.
Basically ends with like 2 battleships as you rising up.
By the way, Amal, if you like Platinum Games, first I would suggest every single game they've ever released. They are one of those companies that they have no misses at this point.
Nope.
And then if you like that, before Platinum, the director of Platinum Games, Shinji Mikami, used to run Clover Studios.
Oh yeah.
So also check out all their games. Just to name drop some of Clover's stuff, Okami.
That was them?
Yeah, that was them. They also
did.
did stuff like God Hand, which was really cool. They did all the Beautiful Joe games.
Yep.
So it's pretty much the exact same team. Yeah. Like, just by the way, like just to give a history about how amazing Platinum Games is, like they literally have no misses.
No, that's phenomenal. Thank you for that. I did not know they were the same company, or ish.
Well, because Capcom fired Shinji Mikami or something.
Right.
I forget exactly what happened, but he had to get let go, and then he went to make Platinum Games,
Right.
and now
Okay.
Gods Among Men.
Well, I'm certainly glad that I know that now. Either way, so that's my shooting star.
If you don't know, now you know.
All right, Andrew.
Yeah, so that's my most surprising.
Andrew, what is your most surprising game of the year?
So, on this podcast, it's probably known that I really like story. To me, is probably the most important thing that I look for in a game, if equal to like gameplay. So if there's a good story, I'll play a terrible game. But something that really surprised me was Wolfenstein: The New Order. They're a game that took, like, the previous canon is you go and you fight fucking, like, ghost Nazis and Hitler in a robot suit, and it's just it took that canon, it's like, we're gonna make you really feel for these characters. And I was like, what? It was actually a really good story, and the gameplay was really fun. But I just loved walking around in that base, just learning about Max and that English dude and the lady in the wheelchair. This just got a great cast of characters. And
I actually forgot about that game in terms of most surprising game of the year.
yeah.
Might actually, because I played that game out really late, so it kind of slipped my mind that Wolfenstein used to be what it was. But yeah, that's a really good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, what is your most surprising game of the year?
Guys, I unfortunately have to contribute the first duplicate to this podcast. It is one of the pains of going last here.
You'll go first next time.
Thank
Justin
you.
will go last.
All right.
Screw you, Justin.
Sure, I don't
Go
mind.
backwards.
Sure.
Yeah, my most surprising game is actually Wolfenstein as well. I've also played the previous installment, and it wasn't horrible, but it was not great.
Previous installment.
Like just Wolfenstein from 2009.
Original Wolfenstein.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah.
The one with the ghost skeleton Nazis.
Yeah.
It was an open world game too.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. So like I played this one because I heard Evan say it was really good, and I was like, so that did make me go in with like higher expectations. But before he said that, I would not have played it. But like it feels like really fun to play. Like you can like go in a place like guns blazing and feel like a badass, or you can go like stealth silence pistol and start throwing some knives at people, and like I don't know, everything feels like really epic and fun. The story like it's really good. It's like a moderate length. It's like 15 hours or so. But you can also do 2 playthroughs. They're not like significantly different, but you know, it's nice that they added that in. But like the story and everything, it was just like a lot better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
So
It also had a really good soundtrack.
yeah,
I
like
really
the
liked a lot
soundtrack
of
was
the
really
music
good.
in
Yeah. For sure.
This is very true.
Cool.
All right, so now we're gonna turn to the not so nice category. Flop of the year. All right. So this is a game that didn't turn out that well that we've played. I imagine there'll be plenty of duplicates. So, seeing as Alex was last, you can now go first.
No, you keep the same.
Yeah?
Order.
You
I
sure?
like to listen to you speak. Yeah.
You sure? You like to listen to me speak?
Yeah,
Okay.
He just wants to get all of our ideas so he can steal them.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. I don't have a list in front of me.
He'll be contributing all the duplicates. So this was a game that I didn't really realize it at first. I was in a honeymoon phase. Took me a while to realize that.
This already sounds like my game.
It took me a while to realize that it was a flop of the year. It was best of show, like in E3 2012. Developed really big hype 2013, and then kept getting delayed and stuff. And then when it came out, let's be honest, it wasn't that great. My game was Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs, I actually cared a lot about that game because it looked really unique, really interesting. The hacking mechanic was very fascinating, but at the end of the day, the most uncanny resemblance is the fact that it's basically a GTA 5 mod. It's basically just, GTA 5 with a cell phone that you can just screw things around with. And in some instances, it feels really cheap. And coming from like a comp sci background, it seems also like it's like you're basically hacking from camera to camera by looking at a camera.
I don't think it works like that.
It's like anytime they use science in popular culture, in mainstream culture.
I'm hacking as fast as I can. Here,
Yeah.
go faster.
Yeah. There are many things I did like about Watch Dogs. The shooting was nice. The story was
nice.
The story was okay. The shooting was better than GTA 4. Okay, let's put it that way.
That's what you say about a girl when you have nothing good to do. She was nice.
She was
better than GTA 4.
She was better than GTA 4.
But yeah, like the story was it's alright. I mean, like it's let's be honest. It's my flop of the year. I mean, I had a high bar for this game, and because of all the hype that Ubisoft built up, they couldn't live up to that hype. And
Dude, all the hype that you built up.
well, yes. Well, Ubisoft built up a lot of it too. Their marketing was intense. Like Watch Dogs had a trailer like by the week. That's what Ubisoft does now at this point.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm sad, but you know what? We all move on. My flop of the year was Watch Dogs. Evan.
Also, sorry, I just want to kind of interject in here. You know how you mentioned it's like GTA 5? There's actually the GTA 4 mod that turns the game into Watch Dogs.
I have seen that. Yes, I have seen that.
It's kind of poorly executed, but it's the same way. You look at a traffic light, and it's kind of casts a ray. You press E, and the traffic light gets hacked. Boom.
Yeah.
Simple things like that. You can also, blow shit up. But it's a glorified GTA 4 mod, and it kind of looks like GTA 4 too. At least the final product does, not the E3 trailer.
But you can change that. But anyways, that's another controversy we'll talk. Well, we've already talked about it.
Right.
So just dig through that that playlist of podcasts we've done.
It's in there somewhere.
We won't talk about it anymore. Watch Dogs let us down this year. Evan, what is your flop of the year?
So, Last of Us did come out this year.
This is gonna be good.
No. I refrain from doing that because I hate the whole nominating remakes from last year. Whatever. But I could if I wanted to. So the game that left me floppy this year was Super Smash Bros. 4.
Did you say left me floppy?
Yes.
That's gross.
That's the greatest thing I've heard today, Evan.
So Super Smash Bros. 4. This game, I don't know why I got excited about this. I did this with Brawl 2. It was so disappointing in terms of what Melee had done and the competitive thing that it had created, and even with Project M, literally showing Nintendo how to do it properly. Fuck you. And with Nintendo literally with Project M literally showing Nintendo how to make a good Super Smash Bros. Game. When this came out, I was just unbelievably disappointed with the mechanics. The game was really slow. It was just incredibly hard to combo with anything. It wasn't anywhere near the game that I hoped it was, and I basically instantly turned it off and started playing Project M again. It was incredibly disappointing. In both versions, doesn't even matter. 3DS, we hated them all.
Oh, both versions, meaning on both systems?
Yeah.
Ouch.
All right. So, Amel, what is your flop of the year?
That's the first time I've heard flack about, that much flack about Super Smash Bros. Actually, but it's okay.
I think I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
No, that's okay. I haven't played it. I'm gonna cheat a little bit, Justin. My flop of the year is gonna be a game I haven't played, but I've basically played it because I've seen you play it and I've seen it discussed so much, and I've read as much as I can, and I was sorely disappointed for the exact same reasons you were.
It's kind of like when you watch someone do math on quantum physics. You're like, oh, I'm pretty much a quantum physician. I could go work at CERN now.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my own Hadron Collider in my backyard.
I can just do that right now.
Cocaine and hookers? Wait, blackjack and hookers. Sorry. No, I haven't played Watch Dogs. I've seen you and Dominic try to run through it, get your disconnect, and not enjoy the game. I've seen Let's Plays, I've seen reviews, I've read as much as I can. I wanted to enjoy it. I didn't bother. I could have picked it up the Steam sale and tried it. I didn't bother. That's why it's my flop, because I had such high hopes for it, but it got to the point where I was like, fuck this, I'm not going to buy it. That's the only game that really disappointed me this year. Everything else I at least, played. And it was fine. But I don't know, I was sorely disappointed, just kind of for the same reasons Justin is and, well, everyone else. So, I mean, he's given all the main reasons. That was my cop out. So, Alex, you can't steal that duplicate now.
Oh no.
All right, Andrew.
I actually didn't play anything really where I was like, this is bad. But because reading reviews and waiting to buy things is really helpful. But if there's one game that I kind of was like, this is weird, is The Evil Within.
Oh.
So I hate horror games, but I do like the action survival sort of horror games. Like Dead Space is one of my favorite games ever. And the gameplay is actually really good. It's a lot of fun, but everything else makes no sense. Like I was making a joke before, like, Evan, if you were to track my understanding of this game's plot over time, it would just be a straight line, starting at 0 and ending at 0. Like nothing makes sense, and it's just it stops being like scary, or not even scary. Like Dead Space, you feel very tense the whole time, and you're like, man, I really can't miss a shot, otherwise I'm out of ammo. But I never once throughout the game. Also, this isn't everyone's story, but I personally never once felt like, man, I'm gonna run out of bullets soon. I found enough keys and ammo just lying around. So it's fun, but I was like, this isn't Dead Space.
Left you a little floppy?
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Aww.
But my penis is tiny anyway, so you can't tell.
Just the tip.
Oh.
All right, Alex, what was your flop of the year?
Oh no. Well, actually, I
We
have
really
two
need to
things
rename this category next year because every single time it's said, just all the jokes.
Actually, I have like two things to say before I state my flop of the year. First of all, when I picked, actually, I'm gonna state the other point first. I purposely played this game on the Christmas break so I could name it my flop of the year.
Nice.
Yeah, so I went in actually expecting it to be the flop of the year, but, you know, I put it in this category anyway. I didn't expect it to be good. Second of all, I thought I would get a lot of shit from Justin for picking this as the flop of the year, but he picked it as his flop of the year, so so this is awesome.
At least he bought it.
Because as he said, he actually, like, he's finally admitting that it was his flop of the year, because I remember when it first came out, and I was like, Justin, this game doesn't look so great, and he's like, this game is actually pretty good. And I was like, really? You're like the first person I've heard say that. And he's like, oh, I don't know.
Justin got Star Wars Episode 1. He was just like, no, it's good, guys, it's good. Oh, nothing makes sense.
Alex.
Like I said, honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I said.
So like honestly, like I was hoping that this game would have like a lot more hacking and sparring aspects, and that it wouldn't and that those would be more important than combat, stuff like that. Honestly, the driving in this game was complete shit.
Yeah.
I did not feel cool when I was driving.
Did you say you didn't feel cool?
I didn't feel cool.
That's his bar.
Like
Alright.
I gotta.
Do I feel comfortable and cool
I didn't
in this,
feel-
in this overworld?
I did not feel immersed. Okay.
Did you get in a sports car, or were you just driving around the mom vans?
Were you driving your kids to their sports games, man?
Yeah. I wish the hacking mechanic was used like to me it felt like it was mostly used for just like car chases and firefights and stuff. I wish it was like used in a deeper aspect in the game.
The one thing I actually noticed also too was that there are some car chases where you kind of have to take down the driver, but you can't shoot outside of your car.
That's so annoying.
I like it's like every driving game, any open world game that involves driving does it.
Yeah, even
well,
Mario Kart.
I feel like they were just trying to reinforce the idea that you're only supposed to be focused on driving when
You're
you're
apparently
driving.
a skilled driver, a skilled hacker, and a skilled bounty hunter, yet you can't stick your gun out of the car. Seriously?
Jack of all
Yeah.
trades.
All three at the same time, man.
Maybe the reason he's such a good driver is because he's like really good at safety driving. He's like 2 hands on the wheel at all times.
Basically.
Nope.
But yeah, so I didn't think the game was horrible, but like Justin said, like there was like a lot of hype for this game. Like this is one of the few games that when there were like trailers coming out, I was literally telling like all my friends, I was like, you have to watch this trailer. Like this game looks really good. And
everybody was saying.
I was the same
Yeah,
way.
Everybody was saying that.
I know it was pretty nuts.
And to make it worse, the fact that it was delayed got even more hype because it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, they saw their mistakes. This is gonna be
exactly,
amazing.
Exactly right. And I mean, it wasn't. I'm not saying it was a horrible game, but it was definitely not what I thought it would be from the trailers and from the hype.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think Watch Dogs definitely gets a flop from us.
Yes. I am glad I did not have to argue with you against this because I know your passion for for Ubisoft sometimes.
Well, you'll be surprised about how much shit I'm giving Ubisoft now.
This is great.
Wait and find out.
Yeah. Well, anyways, now we move on to our next category, Late to the Party.
Aw, yeah.
This is a game that you've probably forgot about or never played up until recently, and you're completely enjoying it and you want to tell all your friends about it, but it didn't come out this year. Basically, you're late to the party because everyone's already played it probably at this point.
Okay.
All right. So I had several choices for this. And then I looked at basically I picked up State of Decay, which was nice, but to be honest though, like I looked at the hours played for all of the games that I purchased this year that I actually went through. Turns out there's a game that I picked up in July, August-ish, and I've put 257 hours into it from then until now, and that's the most I put in a game ever.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of what this is.
I kind of know, but I feel like he's about to cheat.
I honestly thought your game would be State of Decay because of how obsessed you were with it when you got it.
My answer is FIFA 14.
There we go.
Oh shit! I should have known that one.
Soccer ball.
It came out like end of
Man,
last year.
You put 237 hours into that? Jesus Christ!
I kid you not. I had so much heavy World Cup fever that it came out September 2013. That's how it works.
Did it? Okay, I suppose it's
Yeah. So this game, like, oh my god, it's actually probably the best FIFA you'll ever pick up, and it's actually revolutionary from 13 to 14, from what I've been told. The ball is actually looser, and it actually, the defense mechanisms actually mean more. I actually had a lot of fun. I actually hosted my own personal tournament with a bunch of friends. I
came in last.
It's okay, but I mean, like, it was actually pretty fun. So it sounds weird giving it to a game that's like it comes out every year and stuff and expects to be the same, but I felt that FIFA 14 did a decent job, and it also has a World Cup mode which I played on. Like there's actually so much content in FIFA 14. There's actually less content in FIFA 15, which is interesting.
Yep,
so don't actually get FIFA 14 unless you know what you're getting yourself into. If you're really into like what the current club statuses are like, and you have a certain club you want that in like the certain amount of players they have, pick up FIFA 15 then. But if you're looking to join like playing FIFA just in general, I actually recommend FIFA 14. It's actually pretty nice. And every time I play FIFA, it almost feels like a different experience. But nonetheless, I sucked in a lot of hours into it.
A whole lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Counter suggestion. Wait until a foreign individual logs onto your Origin account and purchases either FIFA 15 or FIFA 14 for you.
Yes, sidetrack. Somebody actually hacked my Origin account. Probably someone from Korea, because I got an order confirmation from Origins, and it's all in Korean, saying I bought FIFA 15.
You know what?
Racist.
There were actually a lot of people on Reddit that had people buy them FIFA 15 from like foreign places as well.
It's racist if it was actually in Japanese.
No, it's definitely Korean.
It's okay, he's Asian, he can do
You
it.
deserve to be stolen from. Because you're a racist.
But your card didn't even get charged, did it, Justin?
Well, I requested a refund from Origin, so I wouldn't know.
Oh,
It
right.
it happened before my card got charged, so.
Right. Cool.
Anyways, Evan, what was your game that was late to the party?
So I kind of cheated for this a little bit because it did get an HD release this year. I picked Kingdom Hearts 2. I actually haven't played this game before. I played Kingdom Hearts 1, and then I think I kind of got over Kingdom Hearts when I wanted to play it. Because I think I played Kingdom Hearts 1 for like a week straight. Spent like another 3 weeks trying to kill Ansem, and then beat it, and then went straight into Kingdom Hearts 2 and played it for like maybe an hour, and then just realized I didn't want to play it anymore. Right. So since the HD remake, I picked it up again, and it's fantastic. It's one of those games that just makes you smile. Right. Like, it's fun. It's funny. It's cute. It's charming. It's got really great mechanics. This is the kind of game that's on a lot of people's like game of all time. Right. So Yeah, it's fantastic. Highly suggested if you haven't played it. I'm really late on it though.
It's okay.
Not too much.
All right.
HD.
Okay. So, Amal, what is your late to the party?
I think this one's fairly obvious from anything I've been telling you guys. I mean, it's most definitely Skyrim. Alex made a neat point the other day when we were talking about it. I put more time modding and playing Skyrim this year than I have playing all of my other games combined. Like, if I look at my games from 2014, I've spent a combined 60 hours in Metal Gear Rising, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, Battle Block, a couple others. I spent about 150 hours playing Skyrim and another 70 modding it. It came out in November 2011. I got it November 2011-ish. I don't remember. I subsequently ruined the game for me within 2 hours' time by doing the dagger thing. I was like, okay, this is boring, because I was at like level 50 in an hour. So I said, fuck this, uninstall. Came back to it 3 years later with the Legendary Edition, modded the crap out of it. It's basically pushing my computer as hard as it can on my 1440p screen. I'm still able to get 60 FPS, and I fucking love it. It easily matches most AAA titles right now. It's more demanding than some, and this is what the last 2 months have been. So I've spent more time in Skyrim in the last 2 months than I have on all the other games in the entire year. So 3 years late.
And what's the count on the number of mods you have?
210 right now.
To what?
And now let's stress to people that for each mod you had to start the game to make sure it was working.
Mm-hmm.
I have 10.
Oh yeah, Alex enjoyed my is now playing
Yes.
Skyrim. Is now online. Is now playing Skyrim about 8 times in like 15 minutes.
This is what I do at work. Basically compile things, make sure it runs. I don't want to do that in my spare time.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is so much fun.
At least I didn't have to do any coding. I mean, not yet. I could go into Creation Kit and screw around there, but no. Staying far away from that. This is just getting load orders working. This was like a game on its own. I'm looking at my mod list right now. It's rock solid. It doesn't crash. It's running at like peak performance. It looks gorgeous, and I'm proud of it. Even though you felt like a bunch of tutorials, but still, it's fucking awesome.
If that mod manager was like that came out this year, that should be on your top 5, man.
My top 5 games?
Yeah, the mod manager came out this year.
In terms of hours played, it is my second highest application used last year. Yeah. Now that's basically me.
All right, so Andrew, what was your late to the party?
I was going to say BioShock DLC, but I feel like a lot of people already know about that, so I'd rather give it to Dragon's Dogma. It was free on PS Plus, but that's just a really good RPG. And if it was like what do you call it? If it was like third person like party management as opposed to you controlling like a single character, it'd be like Dragon Age Origins all over again. It's a really good RPG. You got like 100 stats. And you're like, ooh, I gotta go find these herbs for this guy. Side quests. Yeah. And the combat's actually pretty cool. It's not like, oh, I got a sword, so I'll chop this mountain in half. It's like, gotta fight the dragon, so just keep making tiny little cuts on his leg until he gets irritated. And then we'll climb him. It's really cool. You climb stuff, you run, you find herbs.
Yeah.
And
That's the best
you get pawns that you can like make to fill up your party, and you can give them names like Wonder Woman, and you'd be like, yeah. So that game was really fun, and I want to put a lot more time into it.
All right, sounds good. Alex, what was your late to the party?
Okay. I was actually late to the party on a lot of games. I could have put a lot of embarrassing games in this category, but I chose not to, for the sake of my self-image. My late to the party. What?
Go.
No, I'm not. No, we're not getting into that. My late to the party game is CS:GO. I honestly just started playing it this year. I understand that there's a lot of things wrong with the game right now, but I really enjoy playing it. Most of the time, the community is really fun to play with.
Most of
I don't know. Yeah, most of the time, you know,
It's
you get
good.
sometimes you get stuck in servers with a bunch of Russians who aren't the greatest people, but you know, yeah, like it's just a game that like I've really enjoyed learning the shooting mechanics for. Like I really enjoy like. It's really one of the first FPSs that I played that really stresses teamwork and not individual play. I mean, sure, other games have teamwork and stuff like that, but like, you know, like you see with a lot of FPSs these days, most people just want to run off their own and get the most kills and stuff. But you know, this game's a bit different than that, and I like the teamwork aspect. And yeah, like I was pretty late to the party considering it came out in like 2012, I think.
Yeah,
So,
you saying that made me look it up, and I was like, wow, it's been out for nearly
yeah,
2 years?
yeah.
Over 2 years. Holy crap.
really
Wait,
has.
it's only been. No, I'm the exact opposite. I'm thinking it's only been 2 years with Go. Really?
It's been over 2 years because it's now 2015. This was August 2014 when it marked 2 years.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember it being that long ago. Still, awesome.
Yippers.
Okay, sounds good. So now we shall be moving on to the best developer category. So this category goes to basically what you thought of a company generally, if they had a very good public image, if they were very scummy kind of thing. Well, sorry, not scummy. They're just very kind in general, or just, you know, care about the gamers themselves. And see, for me, I actually am going to give it to Respawn Entertainment for their release during their release of Titanfall, and actually throughout. So I remember distinctly that roughly before Titanfall released, people were saying that you could actually download it and then actually use a cracked exe file to use it. And then, you know, the major concern was like, oh, well, my save files, do they carry over? Or, you know, am I going to get banned when I start playing multiplayer later on? Respawn basically just said, have fun. And yeah, I started off like being like level 30 and like everyone was playing at level 1 and stuff. They did a lot of things that were pro gamer. In addition to that, all of their DLC was just maps, and they've made it clear that anything that was gameplay involved, it will be free for the user, and I absolutely love that. And they also said anything guns, all that stuff. I mean, it's a really good start. Granted, like, you know, other games like Battlefield where we have like gameplay and maps kind of thing, and there's like a huge fragmentation between, you know, the game base and the player base. I much prefer what Titanfall did, and I very much appreciated that. It was a very fun experience. And they just about 2 or 3 months ago they released Frontier Defense, completely free, just completely co-op, and I think that's great. Even though the game's kind of died down and stuff, they're still willing to pump out content, and I can't wait to see what they have prepared for us in the coming years, whether that be Titanfall 2 or whether that be more content for Titanfall.
Both are okay.
Both are okay in my books. All right, Evan.
For me, best developer, I did Monolith. Because of Shadow Mordor. Yeah, so this game, it's really just because of this game and the way that they presented this game. Yeah, Monolith. It's just because of the way that they presented this game and the way up to the game, they were just really transparent about their development. They released a lot of dev diaries. I don't know. I really enjoyed the way that this company worked that way. Yeah, that's basically it. And they also released Shadow Mordor. It's fucking great.
All right, Amal.
I'm gonna cheap out on this. I'm not cheating. I'm just cheaping out. I'm gonna give these guys Game of the Year. Oh, sorry, not Game of the Year. Publisher, developer. Goddamn, Developer of the Year because they won my heart with one 2-hour game, if that.
Are you crying?
So, Andrew's about to. I was thinking it was going to be Platinum because I really enjoyed Metal Gear Rising, and I also really enjoyed Legend of Korra, even though it was a $15 title. It was made with the budget of a $15 title, but I loved them. But the actual Metal Gear Solid hits back close to my heart. I've been following the Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes since the very first news came out. I am so damn excited to see both of them. So I'm a little bit early for Phantom Pain and a little bit late for Ground Zeroes. Based on the 5 or 6 hours I've put into Ground Zeroes, I'm willing to put Kojima Productions, the guys who made and own Metal Gear everything, the developer of the year, because Ground Zeroes was a fantastic PC port. This is the first time they developed for PC, and it was done so well, you could actually play fucking Metal Gear Solid with mouse and keyboard. It was basically the same experience as playing with a controller. It was phenomenal, and it was incredibly well optimized. It wasn't a junky console port. They had native 1440p graphics and everything, and that's basically a sneak preview of the Phantom Pain, which is like my most looked out for game basically ever. So based on what I just saw, like the 5-6 hours I played of Ground Zeroes, I'm gonna be a little lenient and give them my developer of the year.
Not only
because both console and PC, they just did a fantastic job.
I'm gonna add on to that point and just point out that Kojima is a complete troll.
Yep.
He likes to leave hints in like either his games or I remember in the Game Awards show in December he wore a shirt that was like in like some sort of like Swedish numbers. Yeah. And like everyone just like, oh yeah, he loves leaving messages in Swedish, and like everyone was like trying to dissect what was going on, and they're like, is the Phantom Pain like release date confirmed or something? And like, oh my god, I love the internet reacting to whatever Kojima does. He's just, oh my god, Kojima, sorry, yes, oh my god.
What they did, one other really good move on their part, because Ground Zeroes came out in like March for I think Xbox 360 and PS3, and a little bit later for the next gen consoles, and just this past Christmas sale on Steam for PC. On the very first day of the game's release, it was 25% off, which was like insta buy for me. It ended up being I think 10 Canadian dollars. I was like, what the hell? A couple of hours of main game and a few hours of side content, phenomenal. Plus they timed it so well. It was the top game on like bestseller on Steam for the next 2 days, which is saying something because it's a $10 title. It doesn't have a AAA budget because it's like a glorified demo. So I'm willing to put all my cards in it and be like, this is it right here.
Okay. All right. So Andrew, who do you give best developer to?
This one's kind of tough, but I think I'd have to go for Supergiant Games. Again, the Transistor people, because they're just really cool. but and to be honest, I'm more and more, and being more serious, I'm gravitating more and more to like the indie sort of games, like the $10, $15, $20, $25 games that aren't these huge AAA things, but they're just made by a team of like a small, tight-knit group of people, and I just like that mentality because I think that shows in a lot of the work that is produced. Those sort of games often, at least the really good ones, have like a very tight focus, or you can sort of feel the love that went into it to be a little more romantic. But yeah, like just the way that they talked about their game as it was releasing, and just the sort of way that they're very humbled, I think, by their experiences, at least from what you see on Twitter or the occasional interview. They're very much like, we're just making games because we want to, and the fact that you guys love it is like a huge bonus for us, and we're not going to take that for granted, and we thank you for that. So I think that it's really cool about them. Yeah.
Okay, so Alex, who do you give best developer to?
Oh my god. This is a category I like bounce back and forth on. Ultimately, I did decide on Platinum Games because Bayonetta 2 is incredible.
Man.
I'd like just like everything about the game. I just love it. Like the combat is so satisfying. Like I just like want to play it over and over, but I can't because I don't freaking own a Wii U. But that's cool. Yeah, like that's really the only reason I'm giving it to them, because they can make a fantastic game like this, and I don't know if there's a game that I enjoyed playing more than this. So
have you tried Metal Gear Rising at all?
I have not.
Okay, I think you're gonna really enjoy it too if you're a fan of Bayonetta. For the same reason.
Did you play Bayonetta 2 or?
No, I played a tiny bit of Bayonetta 1. I've been wanting to play Bayonetta 2 for
But
a
it's
long time.
great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same boat as you. If I had played Bayonetta 2, they'd probably be my developer of the year.
Although, to be honest, I think Bayonetta, just from a technical standpoint, works better. Just because
What do you mean?
you're dodging in Bayonetta, you just hit that button. But to block in Rising, you have to see where it's coming from and
Analog A. Time it.
But sometimes you just run into camera problems, as you will in third person.
Right.
So the fact that you can just press dodge to be invulnerable for like half a second is like nice. That game is
Bayonetta is a mechanically better game.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So.
But that's not saying that, I'm not saying that Revengeance is bad.
Basically, I want a Wii U just to play that game.
That is literally why I want a Wii U.
I'm 100% with you there.
Oh.
All right, so let's move on to a category which I assume will be probably one of our shortest categories because we'll have very duplicate answers. I'm
If I had to
assuming.
explain my answer for this category, the podcast would end.
Let's all say them first and then see if we need to explain them.
All right.
Let's make a mutual agreement that if they're all the same, we just end this category.
How about we all say it at the same time?
Sure.
All right.
3,
So basically,
2.
it's worst developer. Okay, self-explanatory. 3, 2, 1. Ubisoft. All right, we all move on.
I don't know what Andrew said.
Who wants to do any kind of explanation?
Ubisoft is great because they came out with Chop. Okay. Alright, actually, I'll say that after. You guys talk first.
Ubisoft this year just dug themselves a nice, huge hole constantly all the time and just kept digging. From the right off the bat with Watch Dogs being like, oh yeah, games can't run this stuff. And then they flat out find stuff in the config file that just turns on E3 graphics. After this, when Unity was coming out and they were saying that they can't have female characters in the game because it takes too long to animate. And
Hey
then
guys,
even after
30
that,
FPS is more cinematic.
yeah, like
I
Literally-
also distinctly remember somebody from Naughty Dog was just like saying that I think it was the female assassin from Liberation. She resembles Connor more so than it's just like really weird. Like they just basically reused the model.
the fact that once they said that, a bunch of other companies started making female characters in their games.
Yep.
Like I think
Yeah.
a couple days after that, Sunset Overdrive announced that they had female characters, and the first screenshot was the female character in the Assassin's Creed outfit.
Yeah.
Right,
That's like a selling point now. Hey guys, we have female characters.
Yep.
Like I literally don't think Ubisoft did a good thing this year.
I also think it's a matter of they're getting too big and they don't know how to handle it.
Yep.
A lot of people are just so outspoken and much more vocally damaging that I guess it's kind of hard to get a singularity of a voice. Because if some games do very well under the Ubisoft banner this year, but others don't do as well. Like for instance, Child of Light or the other indie smaller titles. Like those they did well. But I don't know what's going on with Ubisoft, but they got to figure out how to funnel out what they say and figure out what they say, because what they're saying are I feel like it's not the collective opinion of what Ubisoft intended it to be. And as a result, it damages their brand. And, to add on to a less PR perspective, they were given ample amount of opportunity to perfect Watch Dogs. They were given a lot of opportunity to test what's the name of that game? Wow, Unity. How did I forget that name? And Far Cry 4, yes, it was okay, but I mean, it wasn't innovative, and that's not necessarily a problem. But they're not really bringing anything new to the table that can kind of, save them from their bad lineup this year.
The problem is they're not bringing anything new to the table in any of their games because they all use the same concept, just tiny bit different.
And this year, just because this year that point was amplified because they came up with so many games, and quite literally, a lot of them can't echo each other.
Yeah.
And
They do.
Yeah.
100%.
100. Yeah. Well, except Child of Light.
That's a bit of an outlier, though.
I was gonna say, like, as one good thing to say about Ubisoft is they are, I think, the only like super big company that is still taking some, not risks, but they're doing different, like Activision's not like, all right, we're gonna supply. They came out with Child of Light, Valiant Hearts. They also have like the Rayman series that are kind of like loopy and not in line with the rest of their thing. So just to point that out. Which is funny because I'm usually the one shitting on Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft. So
I was gonna say their only redeeming factor for me was Rocksmith 2014, but then I looked at it; it came out in 2013, so never mind.
yeah.
Somebody.
Like, I feel like so much of Ubisoft's lineup could have qualified for the Flop of the Year award.
That's true.
Yeah, I was close, but
No, to be honest though, Watch Dogs was just their utmost. Like,
Well,
'Cause that
did
had
any
been-
of you play the Crew beta? Like, I thought that game would be so fun.
yeah.
I played it for a bit. It's
Like, it's like so like the oh my god, it's so bad.
If I remember correctly, that one had some like launch issues as well.
Yeah.
and
First
they had so many
multiplayer.
betas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, in the comments, someone said, "If Flappy Bird doesn't get a mention, I will take my life. This is a promise."
Oh
Let's
crap.
see who this person who said.
Hey, I can add that to the games I wished I played because I actually did not play Flappy
Ah.
Bird.
it.
So let's
believe
move on to the next
I
category.
don't believe that.
I actually did not play Flappy Bird.
That's going in my top 5 games.
Well,
Games I couldn't play. So this category is basically games we wish we could have played to include in our top 5, but we never did because of whatever reason, XYZ reasons.
2014 games.
2014 games, that is correct.
Mhm.
And
Basically, games that you shouldn't get mad at us for not having
in our top
on our
5.
top 5.
Yes.
Chess.
So actually, there were 2 games that, or 3 actually, I'm going to say, because I was going to get to it, but I never could. 2 games really, really, really interested me this year. And because I'm not smoking rich, I couldn't play them. They are console exclusives. And these 2 games look absolutely fantastic. The games are Sunset Overdrive and Infamous Second Son. These two they looked absolutely gorgeous. They looked like a lot of fun. And because I don't own an Xbox One or a PS4, I missed out on both of them. And they're both like, well, Second Son's been out for, like, you know, it's in a franchise that's been a bit more, I guess you can call established. Sunset Overdrive is a completely brave new IP, and I am disappointed that I could not be there to kind of see them strive, because I've been hearing nothing but like great things about that game. I'm sorry it couldn't make my top 5. Same with Second Son. Second Son looked gorgeous. It looked like had a lot of fun. I'm sorry I couldn't make that one my top 5 either. And the third game that I did buy, it is in my Steam library, and I wanted to mention it, but like I don't think I could, just because I didn't have time to play it. I didn't have time to explore it. Was This War of Mine. This game looked very different, and I was caught up in my actual games of top 5 that, you know, it sucked me away and made me forget that I had to play that game. And, you know, that game looked like it deserves some decent amount of recognition, and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I let them down.
At least you own it.
Yeah, I do own it. All right, Evan. Games you
For
couldn't
me,
play.
the games that I really think might have been in my list, Transistor. I love big giant games, but you know, I didn't have time. I didn't end up buying it right when it came out, and then none of the
It's so
Steam sales.
good.
I know. I really want to play it. I do. Even Bastion. It took me like a year to play it, but I love those games. I love Bastion. Sunset Overdrive. Don't have an Xbox One. Really want to play it. Not willing to buy an Xbox One for one game. Bayonetta 2. Essentially the same thing. But I can pretty much guarantee that Bayonetta 2 would be in my Game of the Year list. Like
If you played it.
Yeah, I loved Bayonetta 1 a lot. So, yeah.
Huh.
And then This War of Mine as well. That game, there was a lot of indie games that came out this year, like Valiant Hearts and stuff like that. Personally, I looked at most of them, and all of them just kind of seemed stuff that I wouldn't like. They seemed like things I wouldn't be interested in. But this War of Mine was kind of the big one that actually stuck it out to me and just went, oh, this actually looks really good, right? But yeah, so those are it's my list of shame.
All right, Emil.
Calling it. My list is basically identical to Evan's, except replace this War of Mine with Shadow of Mordor, because you guys wouldn't stop talking about it, and I never got to play it. And I still want to play it, and I'll get around to it. Just goddamn, it looks good. I'm really looking forward to it. Other than that, I'm not buying a Wii U for Bayonetta 2. I'm not buying a next gen console for Sunset Overdrive. So, those two. And Transistor, for the exact same reason. I played Bastion 1 or 2 years late. I loved every moment of it. I was sad when it ended. I was like, that's it? And I was, like, engrossed in it. But I haven't picked up Transistor yet. Nice, Andrew. So,
That's
Shadow of Mordor, Bayonetta
word.
2, Sunset Overdrive, and Transistor. Interested in this War of Mine, but I'd say not enough to make it my, like, wish I could play it right here, right now. Pick it up eventually, but just I got enough to kind of tide me over. So that.
All right, so Andrew, games you couldn't play.
Very similar, but mine would be this War of Mine, which I bought, and I'm just waiting to put out some time for it. Bayonetta 2, and I will buy a Wii U for that game, because that game is awesome.
It is worth it.
Sunset Overdrive, because Insomniac is one of my favorite developers.
I know for a fact I like their games.
Resistance 3 is one of the best first-person shooters of all time.
Yes.
And Shovel Knight, which is coming to the PS4 later this year.
They made Shovel Knight? Oh.
No, Shovel Knight was made by some dudes, but it's
Sorry,
coming.
I thought you
Made by some
I
dudes, man.
I thought you were
Yes.
saying Insomniac's games. My bad.
Shovel Knight, because that game was so cool. It's got that old school sensibility. Those are the games I'm definitely going to be playing soon.
Nice.
Maybe not Sunset Overdrive. God, the
Yeah.
game was so good.
All right, so
cool.
Alex, games you wish you play.
All right, well, Sunset Overdrive, looks like a great game. Somebody wants to buy me an Xbox One, I'll buy it. But otherwise, I will not buy that until I can play it on somebody else's Xbox One or it comes out on PC. Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm sorry, but I'm not willing to shell out the $60 for that game at the moment. In before Justin rubs it in my face that he got it from some sale for $40, blah blah blah.
45, and it was Amazon during Black Friday.
Okay, yeah. Amazon, remember that. And my last one is
Only the biggest online retailer. I really have to remember that.
I'm gonna write that down somewhere. Amazon.
What's that called?
What rhymes with
Put it on your
Amazon?
list.
What's a good way to memorize this?
And my last one is like kind of controversial, but like I do really want to play it, and that's like Destiny. I don't know. Like I know it gets like a lot of flack for like the story and stuff like that. Well, the lack of story.
I was gonna say,
But-
what story?
But like there's a lot of people that are still playing it to this day. Like my brother has logged I don't know how the hell many hours into it. So like, it must have something going for it, and I really want to find out what that is. And if I don't like it, I don't like it, but I do really want to play it. But once again, no next gen console.
So basically, what we all want to say is we want to play Sunset Overdrive. We will have a
Yeah.
Kickstarter of some kind. Maybe we can all get like Xbox Ones or something, and I don't know. We'll see.
We could ask them to
We
make a
want
Kickstarter.
Insomniac. Oh, give us Xbox One so we will promote your game.
we just have to pool our money together and share the Xbox One.
I guess so. Every month we'll just
rotate.
play it.
Or
yeah.
start running some ads, man.
Yeah, start running some ads. Maybe we need to start running that ad
Fine.
money.
Let's sell out,
Sponsor.
man. You changed. You sold out.
Yeah.
You're not hip hop anymore. You're not punk. You've
Talk without the hip.
All right. So now we're gonna actually get to the meat of the show. Actual top 5 games. So, sorry,
From 2014.
of 2014. Top 5 games of 2014.
Be right back.
All right. Andrew is going to leave for a bit. I don't know what he's doing.
It's a good thing he was wearing full dress clothes, not half.
Yes.
Don't imply that any of us are wearing half
Oh,
dress
I'm not.
clothes, please.
Just saying it's a good thing he's not.
Will you stand up for me, Emil?
Why would I do that? I'm very comfortable here.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh God. All right. So I guess. Shit. Oh, he's back.
He's back.
He is back.
The man of the hour.
All right. Intermission is over.
Oh, you guys stopped? Sorry.
It's okay. All right. So, my top 5. I've been trying to decide this for so long, and I don't know where to put this. So, hell, you know what? I'm going to show you my top 5. I'm not gonna change it anymore because I keep changing it. I'm gonna regret it the moment you guys go. It's gonna be like, damn, I should have put this game or whatever.
I have no regrets.
I'm just. Well, you know what? That's the great thing about going first because I will not change my list ever again. No regrets. Okay.
regrets.
He changes it as he's about to say it.
Damn! Stop it, Emil.
No,
Number 5.
I kind of think your number 2 should be your number 1, and your number 1 should be your number 2.
Actually, I've had an inner debate about that for so long.
I know. That's why I'm suggesting.
Oh
that you
no!
switch it.
Stop it. Okay, so my number 5 actually goes to Wolfenstein: The New Order. I actually, for all the reasons you guys said, in addition to that, I really like the narrative they portray, the story they gave. It felt like one of the games that I used to have played as a child called Freedom Fighters.
Oh yeah.
That's the one game I commonly related to when I talk about Wolfenstein: The New Order because it felt very much like the need for revolution. It ended it in a way that, it was very graphic and, it did not hold back. There were certain moments of the game where I sat there, I was like, am I going to die here? Is she going to kill me? Like, it's a scary game in the sense that, how they portray the narrative and the story. And, I actually listened to some of the background tapes that they had in the game, and it just kind of adds additional story to the game. It was pretty interesting. I actually very much liked it.
I think you just single-handedly convinced me to go get it.
Yeah.
Freedom Fighters was like my go-to PS2 title.
Mm-hmm. It's basically, yeah. The downside is no followers, obviously, in Wolfenstein, but
Right. That same gritty war feeling, I've been longing for that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're willing to stand by it, I'll trust you.
All right.
It's gotten rave reviews all around.
Number 4 actually wasn't going to make my list until my friend made me play it literally about 2-3 days ago. Octodad. I am not kidding.
Well, I did not expect this to be in the list.
I did not either.
Octodad was actually kind of I was kind of thinking about it, and I played through it. I actually played it with 2 other friends. So it's one of the games that's actually it's Mario Party style, but it isn't Mario Party because it requires utmost cooperative requirement with you and your buddies. Not only that, but it has a portal feel to it where you basically have...
What?
Hey, no. Let me finish. Not from the story side. Basically, you can actually download maps. From what I understand, they have an entire section where you actually can just download maps, and it's kind of similar to Portal where they're making custom maps made by the community.
I don't think that's Portal as much as just community-driven gameplay.
All right, fine then. Let's say it's very community.
A lot of Halo maps were made by the community.
Community-driven games.
Portal.
Community-driven games.
Because when I think Portal, I think maps, not story or portals.
Okay, but I like.
I think maps.
But anyways, I like their execution of the game. It was very fun and. I very much enjoyed it. I don't know what to say. It was very surprising to me, but it wasn't I knew what I was getting into, but I didn't realize I would enjoy it as much as I did, and I had a lot of fun, a lot of great laughs. Me and my friends would make fun of each other, calling each other names, and just telling each other how we're incapable of doing things. Of course, in a much profane manner, but I'm gonna leave that out of the live stream.
Okay, I got one more thing. Saying Octodad is like Portal because
I take it back already.
Pokemon is a geology game because it's got stones in it.
Rock Pokemon.
This is gonna be oh my god. Octodad is gonna quote me and be like, "How's that Portal feel?" And everyone's gonna be like, "What is he talking about?
I'm done.
I am so screwed.
Number 3.
Number 3 goes to Respawn Entertainment's Titanfall. It is one of those games that I dished it a lot of hours into. It has a very, very interesting combat system between Titan and Pilot. At no point in time do you feel that enemies having a Titan means that they have the complete advantage. It's the way to describe it is a cat and mouse game, and I completely get it. Like, trying to, like, kind of ambush, finding clever ways. I very much enjoyed it. And yes, a lot of people just say, oh, it's just COD with, like, mechs, but COD doesn't have mechs, so take that.
And that haters.
Yeah, and I really like how you get into your Titan. It makes you feel like the most badass, and
it's incredible.
And the fact that you can completely now customize your Titan with like custom Titan OSs and like foreign languages and all that kind of stuff. It's very fun. It's also a very much different. Like, I actually played COD again, and I was just like, wow, Titanfall's really different. Like, it's you know, it's unlike any shooter. It's unique enough that it stands out, and it's very fun. And that is my number 3. So, Assassin's Creed Unity came out, and there were a lot of things that it satisfied.
Yeah, go on.
For all the things that didn't satisfy me, I went to Shadow of Mordor. And that is my number 2. And I knew
is Unity number 1?
I wanted to raise some eyebrows, and that's why I did it. Shadow of Mordor is at first when Evan said Shadow of Mordor is like the Assassin's Creed that I never got, I felt kind of challenged to be like, okay, I'm gonna see what this game's all about, because I have no idea anything about this game. I think the only downside to this game is the fact that it's Lord of the Rings lore, and I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that the connotation to that is you need to understand a lot about Lord of the Rings lore, which is actually not the case. I don't know much about it. The story didn't mean as much to me, but I'm sure Lord of the Rings fans would love it. But I love that game. I actually spent a lot of time, killing the captains prior to even doing anything. It was, oh my god. And the way that it ends, it's like, oh, wow. It actually, the decisions I made in that game actually kind of carried over to the end. It's a very fun game, and honestly, I don't know if I'll go back to it just because I'm too busy with my number 1 right now. But
I wonder what that is.
But yeah. So yeah, Shadow of Mordor, fantastic game, and it is my number 2. Now my number 1 is actually. I actually completely regret not pre-ordering it from the beginning. It was a buy that I was pressured into, and
don't give in to peer pressure, man.
I can't, man.
Except for when it's from me.
No, it was completely from you. And this game at first did not impress me at E3. I don't know why. I got a lot of flack from Evan from Andrew a few podcasts ago about that. My number 1 is Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh my god, I don't even know where to begin. This game is absolutely gorgeous. Holy crap. And the game feels so much like it resembles a lot like, you know what? I'm not going to say that anymore. Andrew's staring at me in anticipation, saying, I wonder what he's going to say. I'm going to criticize him for it. But no, I really like the game. I like the fact that, party members, when you try to acquire them, it doesn't feel like it's like a mandatory requirement. Sometimes you can probably go through the entire game and miss some party members. But there's some core ones that are there. Decisions feel monumental. Like, it feels like, you are now basically a heretic. Basically, you are going to try to change the way everything exists. You have to basically save the world. And it's like everything you've known, all the beliefs that each individual faction has, they need to put it aside. You need to find a way to kind of merge all these people together to fight one common enemy. And I felt like I was playing Mass Effect 2, which is still one of my most favorite games of all time. I haven't finished Dragon Age Inquisition yet. I'm only like 30, 40 hours in still, because I'm taking my time so slow with this. I keep getting sidetracked with side quests. This game is filled with so much, and I've only hit the tip of the iceberg. And I am glad Evan and Andrew peer pressured me into getting this and telling me how wrong I was about it, because oh my god, Dragon Age Inquisition is fantastic. Shadow Warrior would have been my number one, but I play Dragon Age Inquisition. So, congratulations, Dragon Age Inquisition. You got another Game of the Year award. Alright, so that ends it for me. Evan, what is your top 5 list?
Alright, so I'm going to preface this with, this year was kind of disappointing. I don't know if you guys felt that at all. There was not much that I really went crazy over this year. It was just very much like, this thing was okay, this game was okay, this game was amazing, this game was okay. But I just want to point that out, because there's a bunch of the games in my top 5 list which I don't actually think deserve top 5 status, but they just happen to come out in a year where a lot of shit came out. And I'm gonna attribute that a lot to the new consoles, because it's a transition year. A lot of developers are just trying to figure out these new consoles and whatnot. But anyways, here we go. Number 5, Bravely Default. This game, it just really brought me back to old school RPGs. It was really fun. I don't like grinding in games that often, and I mean, I was sitting there for days on end just grinding, getting all the classes to level whatever the max was. I think 10. I don't remember. But this game, it was an incredibly safe game. It was an incredibly just classic game that just made me happy, right? If you haven't played it, I highly suggest it for 3DS. It's really cool. The sequel's already coming out. Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah, Bravely Default, number 5. Number 4, Lethal League. This game is fucking fantastic. So this game, have you guys played it at all? Heard of it?
No, I haven't even heard about it.
It's so fun.
It's basically just like a Super Smash Bros-esque game where there's a baseball in the middle. You all have a bat and you hit it at each other, right? So you can like hit it, and as you hit it, it speeds up, and eventually you break the sound barrier essentially. And it's just a crazy, like, mechanics-heavy couch co-op game. And it honestly, everybody in my house, we kind of have daily Smash sessions, and Lethal League kind of split up our Smash sessions, right? Like, it was just a nice, fun, crazy game to just fuck off with. It's a lot of fun. I highly suggest playing it. It's just really good. Anyways, number 3, Lichdom Battle Mage. So this game really surprised me just in terms of mechanics. So the tagline for the game is like, finally making a mage epic, and it does that. It's a game where you play as a mage, you have no mana. It's just like, if you can fire a spell, you can do it. It had a pretty cool loot system, but really this game was just pretty innovative to me. It was really cool. I liked what they were doing. It definitely wasn't without its bugs. It could be a little bit more polished, all that kind of stuff. But it was really cool, and I appreciated what it did. Number 2 is going to be Dragon Age Inquisition. Me, Andrew, you know how much I love Dragon Age.
Yeah.
You know how much I love Dragon Age. This game, I can't remember the last time I've been this excited for a game release. And it delivered in every single way. Sure, I have maybe the smallest annoyances with it, but though, like, I'm nitpicking as hard as I could. Like, yeah, there's a lot of really stupid quests, but who cares? There's a lot of quests, right? Like, the characters are fantastic. The world's amazing. I love how the games that I've played in the past actually affect this one. Like, this game is beautiful. Play it. Doesn't matter if you haven't played the previous ones. Just do it. Just do it. You're up for a treat. I guarantee you will love this game. I probably shouldn't say that. Probably some random person hates it. Anyways, this game is phenomenal. This and my number one are basically the two games that I actually thought were really good this year. Everything else I found to be kind of lacking, even though the three games are on my list. But anyways, and then my number one. Guess what? Fucking Shadow Mortar. Holy tits! This game was glorious. I've been following this game since E3 this year, I think. When I said that Dragon Age Inquisition delivered, that pales in comparison to what Middle Earth said. Because Middle Earth said that they were going to create a dynamic world where the enemies knew you and they would know, like, your game would be different from anybody else's. And they did that. So many developers have tried to do something like this. It's been promised since fucking Fable. Fable promised this shit. And finally, a random ass, like, monolith out of nowhere makes a Lord of the Rings IP game that does this. This is the best badass simulator I've ever played. Like, you feel like a god playing this game. Because, I mean, it starts out pretty difficult. You start out not really knowing exactly what... you're going to have trouble fighting a bunch of guys. It starts getting more... And then eventually you just kind of hit this point where everything becomes easy. It has so many... Well, not easy, but just fun. I can't even put words together because of how much I love this game. It's since Spec Ops: The Line, this is probably the closest that I've come to like an almost perfect game. And it's not even necessarily... I can also just see the sequel here. I can see the parts of the game where they just like they had weapon runes and stuff like that. I can see that they wanted to do a loot system, but they just didn't have the budget. And I that's going to be in the next one. Like, so good, so good. Yeah, number one, Shadow Mortar. Fucking play this game. It is a masterpiece.
I also think you single-handedly convinced me to get that too. Possibly
That game
sooner.
Sucks.
It's a terrible game.
I just find it very ironic that Evan's recommendation for me turned out to be my number one,
Yeah.
but it's his number two.
Shadow Mortars.
At that point, you already had Shadow of Mordor, though. That's probably why. But you guys just flipped them around.
And honestly, like, Dragon Age Inquisition is phenomenal. It's just, it got really, really unlucky in being released the same year as Shadow of Mordor.
oh, that's why. I see. I
like
was why is it
Shadow of Mordor, it's just that good. It is. Yeah, I don't know. It's. I need to. This game is so good. So
He
good.
needs to hug something and just kind of let it all out.
All right, so Amel, we're now
Mine's,
moving on to you for your top five.
Mine's nice and simple because I played 6 games from 2014 and 5 of them were really fucking good. And I've talked about all of them already. So my number 5 would be a game that I barely spent 5 or 6 hours in, but it was catchy. It was repetitively fun. It was incredibly silly, and I played the whole thing through with my brother. So I mean, it was good local couch co-op. It would be Battle Block Theater. I think it's an indie game. I'm not sure who developed it. Alex, do you?
Whoever developed Castle Crashers.
Okay, right, same folks. Oh yeah, they had the heads and everything. It was just stupid amounts of fun, or I guess silly amounts of stupid fun, where you can just turn your brain off and be silly, which is what we did. My brother and I spent more time throwing things at each other and watching our little dudes explode than we did playing the actual game.
Yeah, it's great because the game doesn't punish you for it.
Yeah, you just spawn right back and you keep going.
Yep.
Though it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable for all the wrong reasons, in the sense that screw the story, I'm just having fun, or screw the enemies, I'm just having fun beating up my brother's character. And I mentioned already the soundtrack was really fun. It was really catchy. And that. So that's my number 5. Nice and simple for that.
And how great was the intro to that game?
Oh my god.
That was so entertaining. That story.
I went into the game with no expectations. He bought it. He picked it up for me, and I was like, "Oh, what is this? Just sit with me and play it." I do. After the intro, I'm like, "Okay, this was enlightening." Yeah, it was fun. So that's my number 5. Number 4, this is when I start worshipping platinum. Number 4 was The Legend of Korra, which I mentioned vaguely. So, aside, I am a massive Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. The entire show, the comics, the lore, everything. Like, I need more. I am so sad the show ended, but, whatever. It was great and everything. So I picked this up, I think this winter sale or the autumn sale or whatever the hell Steam had, like $10 or something. Went into it with, again, almost no expectations. I knew it was a platinum game, but I knew it was really low budget. And it shows because compared to like Bayonetta or Metal Gear Rising, the walls are barely painted. It looks like it was like the wall texture was made in about 10 minutes. Stuff like that. It's meant to, though, considering the game's base price is $15 fucking dollars. Right? And it delivers for those $15. It's obviously non-canon to the storyline. It makes actually not very much sense if you follow the storyline. But I would say that's my badass simulator since, I don't have Shadow of Mordor. It was very enjoyable, and since I'm a longtime Avatar fan, it felt really good being able to control what I've kind of grown up to. It's like, okay, you get fire, and then you get water, whatever order the elements come back in. Just straight up enjoyable, hack and slash. There weren't really too many blocking elements. It was a simplified combat system of Metal Gear Rising, and a much more simplified version of Bayonetta, obviously, because that kind of takes the cake. So that's my number 4. They're both low-budget titles so far. Speaking of platinum, like I mentioned, Metal Gear Rising is my 3rd one. Since it's a 2013 game, but it came out in 2014 for PC. I've put, I think, 30 or so hours into it. I've played through it, I can't remember, 2, maybe 3 times. It gets more and more fun every single time. I have the entire soundtrack on my phone. I listen to it when I'm driving home sometimes just because, the vocal track, just because it's straight up kind of fist pumping or ear pumping metal. And it's really enjoyable. Kind of goes back to the days of you're fighting a boss and suddenly this really crazy soundtrack pops up and it's there, it keeps looping, it keeps repeating, and it's seamless. It speeds up, it slows down as the battle progresses. That basically made the game for me, and obviously the combat too. I do wish I'd spent more time into it, but it's still a single-player game, and I ended up kind of moving on to other things, like Skyrim. Mostly Skyrim. So that takes my number 3 spot for tight combat, incredible music, and a very polished game for PC. Number 2 is actually Titanfall. Justin suckered me into it. I'd say Justin and Alex equally.
Hey.
High five!
Hey!
There you go, you guys know. I was kind of reluctant to get it, and I was like, I don't know, you guys talk about it, but it's so expensive, and then the full, deluxe edition went on sale. I was like, oh! I mean, it's $30 still, it's only half price. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. Oh boy, I enjoyed it. And I'm still way under-leveled compared to you guys with your Gen 7s or whatever the heck you are now. I haven't even
8,
unlocked.
thank you very much.
I'm back to Gen 1.
What'd you do?
I may have purchased a new game so I could play with noobs.
Fair enough. I'm severely under-leveled compared to these guys, but all of the games I've played have been with Justin and Alex and a couple of our friends. Just the 6v6 or even 4v4 combat is so satisfying. The way you get into your mech, the animations, the gunplay. Like Justin said, at no point do you feel outgunned or outnumbered. There's always a way around it, even if there's a big mech in front of you and you're just wall jumping. Really, really fun to play. Almost no negativity about it. It was massive with 35 gigs of uncompressed audio, as everyone probably knows. But it was just all around solid shooter. I haven't played Advanced Warfare, so I can't compare to it. But I don't care. Mechs, jetpacks, great gunplay. So that's my number 2. As for number 1, I mentioned it twice already. Metal Gear Solid, Ground Zeroes. Sorry, MGS5, Ground Zeroes. I'll worship this game all day, every day. Andrew, you can do the thing you were doing. It was nice. The worshipping thing. There we go. Because it's a precursor to what I really, really hope is the greatest game of 2015. I'm looking so forward to the Phantom Pain. This is exactly the kind of combat I've wanted. This is what I've been waiting for years, since Metal Gear Solid 3 on the PS2, which I played about 8 years ago. The main mission was 2 hours long. I paid $10 for it. It was worth every penny. It was worth every second. And I cannot wait for March 2015 when this launches when the Phantom Pain launches.
However Kojima's going to tell us in this very cryptic manner.
Yeah, whatever he does. I don't think they've announced a full date for it. It's just rumors say March, right? Or
a lot
around.
of rumors saying June.
Oh, did they? Maybe I was reading
like
something.
I said, rumors.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Rumors are generally unfounded or not. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be looking out for it. It's already on my wish list, Steam wish list. I'm going to be most likely purchasing this the day it comes out. That'll be a first. I haven't purchased a game on day one in a few years now, actually. So, Ground Zeroes was not a disappointment, and the Phantom Pain most certainly will not be, particularly since they're bringing back Metal Gear Online, which I didn't get to play since I didn't have MGS 3.5. So, getting ranty, but everything about Ground Zeroes was phenomenal. I don't have a single negative thing to say about it.
Nice.
As fangirly as that may sound.
Okay, sounds good.
5.
All right, Andrew, we move on to you. What is your top 5?
Top 5. These aren't necessarily in order. They kind of are, I guess. So for me, top 5, I guess at the bottom of it would be Infamous First Light. It's technically DLC, but it's kind of not because it's standalone. You can buy it on its own. It's the prequel to Infamous Second Son, and it's a lot smaller than Second Son, but it's just a nice open world. To me, the coolest part about having these superpowers is being able to just move across the city, and even though you have neon, so basically your protagonist is you have neon powers. Figure out what that means, and you just like run around the city, and there's like a really touching story about why this person that you meet in the game is kind of messed up and how she got there, and it's got really good voice acting, really good. It's just great. It's just a great, touching story. And like I said, story to me is paramount. So I'll put Infamous First Light there. I don't know, 4th place. Child of Light.
You said these weren't in order, though.
Yeah, I know. So,
okay.
Child of Light. That game, I love everything about that game. It's got the iambic pentameter. The gameplay is really simple, but it gets kind of like complex once you get like in boss battles and stuff, and you're trying to time your attacks right. And Nicholas is all out of juice, and he can't light up anymore, but you're like, come on, man. You just got to do it. He's so good. It's really good. And again, this is another. It's not like a phenomenal story, but it captures that idea of like being a child being read at bedtime story, and the fact that the protagonist is female is also a boon, a plus for me, because I'm always looking for stories that aren't being told traditionally, at least not in the mainstream. And man, the characters are all funny. They all got their little quirks, and people need to play that game. It's on Vita. It's on PC. It's on the PlayStations. Go play it. Number 3. Persona Q.
Really?
Yeah.
Evan sounds like he has some beef with you or something.
No. It was honestly close to being on my list too. I'm just interested why.
To be honest, I haven't played a lot of that. Like, I've played a lot of that game, but that game is going to be super long, so I'm probably like 1% through with like 90 hours. That's the kind of game that is. Mm-hmm. The numbers may be slightly exaggerated, people, but I love the Persona universe, and just hearing the click of the menu, of like choosing the menu options, and just those bright yellow, even just the menu is like so nostalgic to me at this point. And I missed those characters so much. Having Chie talk about meat, and Yosuke being all like, "Whoa, I'm crazy, weird." It was just, man.
That game, every single time I played it, it made me want to go back and play Persona 3 and 4 again.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Not in like a, I want to play the better version. It's the, this reminds, like, yeah. I really did like that game.
Yeah, that game. And it also takes the Persona thing that you're used to and sort of changes it a little bit. Gives you extra mechanics. It's a dungeon crawler. It's fun to like draw a map on the 3DS as well. Like, ooh, color it in. Yeah.
That game is very much like
Yeah.
Persona meets Shin Megami Tensei meets Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah. So if you don't know all those obscure Japanese games, go play them. It's just a lot of fun. That'll be a common theme in my list. It's just a lot of fun. Persona Q, definitely, really fun game. Second, now it gets in order. These are the two that are like, this is kind of in order. Dragon Age Inquisition. I love that game. It's, like Evan said, it brought everything that you kind of wanted it to. Except, for me, I don't know why, but Dragon Age Origins, I think I just like that game better. I don't think it's a better game. I just like that one better.
I think the combat was better.
Yeah.
Like the combat and just like.
That's true. The big part of that game was better.
The problem is that they're different. Because the new one's
Dragon Age
easier.
Inquisition is a post Mass Effect 2 world.
Yeah.
And Dragon Age Origins was a pre.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I really like Justin said everything. Justin said, I completely agree, but it's not. But for me, my list was about what was my favorite game. What game did I really always want to come back to? And that brings me to number one, which has to be Transistor. I love that game so much. I've played that. I bought it when it first came out, and I platinumed it like that first weekend, and then I still keep playing it. I'll play it for just 10 minutes or up to an hour, like every few days, just to. I love that game. To try new combos, to just listen to music, to listen to that voice acting. It's just something special. Supergiant Games is something special. And
agreed.
Yeah, the art style, it's gorgeous, and I've probably beaten that game a whole whack of times. I don't even know. Just
nice.
Yeah.
All right.
That has to be my favorite game out of 2014.
I gotta pick it up now.
Yeah.
All right. So Alex, now we move on to your top 5. So please, Alex, what is your top 5?
Well, I'm just curious about Andrew's comments about Dragon Age Inquisition. Was it perhaps because of how sexy the characters were in Dragon Age that you weren't a fan?
Yeah.
I mean, they are a lot sexier than in Dragon Age Origins, man.
Yeah. I actually don't like pretty things, so.
Yeah, you like good stories, but not.
Yeah. I also was a huge fan of Dragon Age Origins, where you would like kill a mouse and just be covered in blood as you talk to a child. You're like, "Hey man, don't worry, those rats won't come back to."
Rat blood.
Oh
exactly.
My god.
All right.
That was terrifying.
I shall do my list now. So my number 5 game is the same as Justin's number 5 game. I don't like that all my things are the same as Justin's. But that's just the way it is sometimes. It is Wolfenstein. I've really already explained why I enjoyed the game, as I named it my most surprising game of the year. Combat, story, everything. I'm not going to explain it further. My number 4 game is not a repeat. Hooray! It is The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I really loved The Binding of Isaac. I have too many hours in it, and I was really excited for the new one. It's really difficult to mess this game up, and the developer was really interested in making his original vision of the original Binding of Isaac and turning it into a new updated game. So they added like a ton of new items and stuff like that, and the game is fantastic. Just a ridiculous amount of replay value. I can't say anything bad about it. It's just great.
The art style on that thing is on point.
It's
terrifying.
It's so good.
That game is scarier than The Evil Within. That's like not even a joke.
Evil Within's not even. I think it's supposed to feel like Resident Evil in the sense that like you're in a zombie world rather than you being in like a scary world.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
but just I love the art style in Rebirth, Isaac, Binding of.
My number 3 on the list is Shovel Knight. I didn't really say much about the gameplay when I picked it as best soundtrack. Best soundtrack is one of the reasons that it's on my top 5, but I don't know if any of you have played it, but the controls for that game are just ridiculously tight. Like, it's just so good. Like, if you've ever played like a really good NES platformer, like, you want to play this game. This game is just amazing. It's a bit short, admittedly, and it would have been much higher on my list if it had more levels, but the game itself is just amazing. Like, just amazing. Just amazing. My number 2 on the list is Shadow of Mordor. I really wanted to put it as number 1, but there are a few reasons why I could not. I thought, as Evan said before, just the way that they implement everything is just really cool. I didn't really like how you like the beginning of the game is so hard and then the rest is so easy. Like, I actually thought the rest of the game was easy. I know Evan said it wasn't necessarily easy, but I thought it was easy. Like, I died a lot in the beginning, and then I thought the mechanic was cool where I got to see, like, somebody become a war chief because they killed me. But, yeah, then it got really easy and I just killed everyone, which was fun, but not very challenging. And I also got kind of annoyed at the ending, where I, like, built up this, like, really badass character, and then I don't want to spoil anything, but the boss fights were not as cool as I expected. Yeah, that's, like, why it's number 2. Like, those were literally the only bad things about the game for me. Like, I just had a lot of fun playing that game. The combat in that game is very similar to, the Batman games, which I also had a lot of fun with. So, exact. Andrew gives an excellent demonstration there.
He's basically our official, whatever you call those, the sign language interpreters. So yep. for any of our viewers who can't hear us, you probably can't hear what I'm saying, but Andrew is there for you.
Yes. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor, great game. And my top game is from my best developer, Bayonetta 2. Just great. I have nothing more to say about that. It's amazing. Buy it. Combat's amazing.
She cut her hair. Oh.
She didn't own a Wii U, though.
Dude, man. I specifically prepared for this award show by playing on friends' devices.
Fair enough. I can appreciate that.
Dang.
Yeah.
He's willing to give it number 1. That's like, saying.
I am not the type of person to buy a console because of one game, but I would buy a Wii U for this game. Like,
man, damn.
And I mean, there are other good games for Wii U. I'm not saying they're not. I would buy Mario Kart 8, of course. I'd probably buy Smash, even though Evan hates Smash. But I would buy a Wii U for Bayonetta 2 every day.
Okay, so now come to the most difficult part of the podcast. Our ultimate top 3. I don't even know where to begin. Let's start off by reiterating our lists real quick, so we all have it all fresh in our minds. So I had Wolfenstein, Octodad, Titanfall, Shadow of Mordor, and Dragon Age Inquisition. Evan?
I had Bravely Default, Lethal League, Lynch and Battle Mage, Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, and and then Dragon Age Inquisition.
I had Battle Block Theater, The Legend of Korra, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Titanfall, and Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
It's gonna be great finding things in common with Amos games.
Oh yeah.
And mine were Infamous, First Light, Child of Light, Transistor, Dragon Age, and Persona. Q.
Mine was Wolfenstein, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, Shovel Knight, Shadow of Mordor, and Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
See, you're paying a lot of attention to the comments and the.
I cater to the comments.
I don't remember what your actual number 1 was.
It was Bayonetta 2.
Thank you. I was like, wait a minute. You lost me.
Okay, so I think it's fair to say that Dragon Age Inquisition belongs on this list. I just don't know what number it should go under.
Okay, so why don't
difficult.
we should all to kind of like get this down, I think we should each kind of go over a list and actually nominate games that we believe should be on the top 5.
Okay.
So probably our top 1 and 2.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, realistically, those should be the ones.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got Dragon Age Inquisition, Shadow of Mordor, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes, Titanfall, Transistor, and Bayonetta 2 as the nominees then.
Done. Let's just leave it at that.
Is anybody not? Does anybody think that some of these games do not deserve the right of Game of the Year?
Well, I mean, there's some that I can't like comment on, right? Like, I wish I played Dragon Age Inquisition, but like, I'm pretty sure from what I've seen, I agree that it should be up there.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Can we? Because for me personally, I do not think that Titanfall should be on the list.
I don't think it should be there either. I've played it. I've put a ton of hours into it, but I don't think it's not a top 3. And I don't even think it's a top 5 game of the year. It was fun, but it's nothing revolutionary. I don't think.
It's on my top 2 because I had nothing better, which is why it came down on the list.
Like, I would put it as maybe number 6 on my list, but definitely not top 3.
I agree. I think there would have been more room for other games to make way for it, but yeah, I'm okay with it not making the list.
Okay. I found that game to be very boring personally. I played it for like 2 hours. I
played it with these guys and it was pretty fun, but like
I don't know. It's just that's my 2 cents on it.
That's the thing about multiplayer games. It's a matter of perspective sometimes. Like
absolutely.
It's very hard to gauge between what you think is.
I don't know if I agree with that, but that's a topic for another day.
Well, I mean, like sometimes if
a pile of shit is still a pile of shit, even in the right sunlight.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed. Sorry.
No, you're not.
All right. So all we have left is there's Ground Zeroes, Transistor, Bayonetta 2, Shadow of Mordor, and Dragon Age Inquisition. So what do you guys think?
What do we have? So is that how many games is that?
That's 5. We need 3.
Well, Shadow of Mordor and
Well, I agree with. Well, Shadow of Mordor was like on like 3
Everyone's
of our
top
twos,
twos,
right?
yeah.
so mine because I didn't play it.
Not mine.
It would be on mine had I played it. It would probably be my number 1 from what you guys tell me.
Have you played it, Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did.
Wait, was it on your top 2 or was it even
No,
on
No,
the
it wasn't even on my top. I liked it. I just didn't like it as much as I liked my other games.
Oh, okay. Do you have? Okay, well.
It, I first of all, I have a thing against, like, I don't typically like open world games as well, and to be honest, the story wasn't as compelling as, like, for me, story really does come first, usually to enjoy.
This is a game where gameplay overtook. Although, in terms of story, I've talked about this before, the side quests. Oh, the side quests. Those things were unbelievably well written.
In terms of lore, that game had it in spades. But in turn, like, I didn't really care about Talion's story.
Nah, fair enough.
Yeah. I was like, cool. All the interesting characters get kidnapped or something. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Fair enough.
But it is, like, I would be 100% okay with it putting in the top 3. I think that game has, like Evan said, it's done. When it first came out, I was like, no way, this is what they says there, and it was.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't necessarily agree with Ground Zeroes, only because it's a portion of a game rather than it being.
The Phantom Pain.
Yeah, I probably would give it to the Phantom Pain if I actually played it, but and Ground Zeroes I'm sure is an exceptional game, but it still feels like a paid demo.
It is a paid demo.
Yeah.
It's canon. It's a story. It's a fantastic story, but it's still a mission in like a whole bunch.
Yeah, I think to make this list a bit easier, I might just take that one out.
Oh, I fully agree. If the Phantom Pain was released, I'm sure it would make your top 5 too, easily, considering you were super hyped about it too.
I am pre-ordering Phantom Pain.
Sorry, what's left?
So Dragon Age Inquisition, Shadow of Mordor, Transistor.
Well, I thought we already decided that those 2 were already in the top 3.
I know, but I'm showing you all the answers.
Okay, well,
what's left is Transistor and Bayonetta 2.
Oh, I could see either of those. Like, I've played 20 minutes of Transistor-ish. What?
Seriously, those are the 2?
Just push it to top 4, done.
God, fuck. Okay,
Evan seems stressed.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
See, like,
so these are 2 games that I didn't play, were on my pile of shame, and I know would have made my game of the year.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fuck.
I would say let the guys who played them decide, but one guy played one and the other guy played the other.
See, no.
So-
I've actually played Transistor, but
Oh.
like I haven't played it enough for me to put it on my list. Like I've actually played 20 minutes, and I do agree that it's a really good game. Like I feel like if I played it, it would be top 2 on my list. Like I would not be mad about either of these games getting top 3.
I'm gonna propose something that kind of cheats out on. No, I'm not. No, we're not gonna cheat conversation. We're gonna talk this out. We're not gonna vote it out. Let's talk this out.
Sure.
Okay,
I don't know.
Andrew.
I
have a feeling you're hardest leaning towards Transistor.
Yes.
But to be honest, even just for playing Bayonetta again this year, I'm like, I was thinking about it as I'm playing Bayonetta. This would probably be my game of the year if I could play Bayonetta 2 right now. Like, it took everything about Bayonetta and just cranked it up. It looks
Absolutely.
better. It
As it
plays better from what I hear. Man. Like,
For me personally, from what I've seen of both games, Bayonetta 2 would be higher on my list.
yeah, I might even like Bayonetta 2 more than Dragon Age. Or
Yeah,
just
like,
Mordor.
It just feels so natural to play. Like the combat is like when I said the driving didn't feel immersive, like this fighting felt immersive. Like sure it didn't feel like I was there, but it was like
You didn't
Obviously.
feel like you were upside down,
didn't
anti-gravity
No.
on a falling
but
stone.
it actually like
Not
felt
first
natural.
But how is the cool meter?
Okay, I have an out. I have one out. Okay, I'm gonna propose this. 3 of you have Bayonetta 2 on games I wish I played, but only 2 of you have Transistor for games I wish I played.
But
I think
would
we're
have
already
Transistor.
kind of leaning towards Bayonetta 2. I mean,
think
Andrew
so.
and Alex both said I'm 99% sure Bayonetta 2 would have been higher than Transistor on my list.
I'm
This
sure.
is our top 3,
Yes.
not like my top 3.
I know. I'm just. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that we have 3 people. It's just that I think you are definitely the biggest Transistor fan of the bunch of us. So that's why I think if anybody's going to argue Transistor, it would probably be you.
And even I'm like,
Yeah.
Bayonetta 2 looks pretty fucking awesome.
It really does.
Man.
I think we just
So-
made a decision.
Unfortunately, it would have to be Bayonetta 2 then, looking like.
Oh, that
Unfortunately.
hits me right in the gut.
Don't end it on that note.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Say, fortunately, we
How about-
Fortunately, Bayonetta
Shadow
2.
of Mordor was something we all got to experience this year.
Now we gotta number these 3.
Oh man, do we have to?
I think we just did.
I don't know, between
Okay,
Dragon Age
so,
Inquisition and Shadow of Mordor.
I
That's
can't. It's hard to rule on that. Like
Yeah.
I can't compare what I didn't play. It's
Yeah.
really only like you and Evan.
Let them do it.
Also,
Okay,
Alex, I
fine,
think, is
fine.
the only one who played Bayonetta 2. Actually.
It's true.
I think Bayonetta 2 has to go last based on
Yeah.
the previous argument.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, I know it's fucking good, but I just haven't played it. And I think a lot of us are in that boat. But I mean, Andrew, you played Dragon Age and Shadow of Mordor. Justin did as well. And you didn't play any of them?
Nope.
This sucks for you. You didn't play any of our top 3.
Yeah,
That's why I was like, I'll just sit here and kind of twiddle my thumbs until they decide, and I'll go out and buy it.
We really shit on your list.
Andrew, I mean,
Alright.
sorry, Alex has played some Shadow of Mordor, so that helps a bit. Though I
Yeah.
do
But
find
I liked Bayonetta 2 more than Shadow of Mordor.
poor guy.
Damn it!
He's trying to put words in your
now,
mouth.
now that I think about it, when Andrew was talking about how if you played Bayonetta 2 and me remembering playing Bayonetta 1, my list probably would have gone Shadow of Mordor, Bayonetta 2, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Wow.
That would probably have been my top 3.
But again, only you 2 have played Dragon Age Inquisition.
3.
3.
Oh.
Andrew,
Oh, sorry, right, Andrew did too. Right.
man.
I might say just these are our top 3 in no particular.
Yeah.
You know what?
agree.
I agree too, just because like these might change depending on if any of us play Bayonetta 2.
Nope.
Okay,
Yeah.
so why don't we do this then? Why don't we just say the way that we would list these?
Okay.
Sure.
Like
That's good.
individually.
True. And then we'll
Because I feel like we all have a list in our mind except for Amel, who's just.
except for Amel.
We all have a list in our mind. It's just that coming to terms with this, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, what if we actually all have the same list?
That'd be really funny.
That's gonna.
Actually, Alex, I might have the same list as you.
I don't know about
All right,
that.
so let's go.
Oh, same order we've been going through.
Sure.
All right. So if it were me, Dragon Age, Shadow of Mordor, and then Bayonetta 2.
Is that 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Right?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 for me is Shadow of Mordor.
Like you're having a seizure.
God, I
It's
don't
hard
know.
to put something on your list that you haven't played, right?
Yeah,
That's such fun memories.
that game was so good.
It's 10 times
Dragon
better than
Age
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta. Dragon Age Bayonetta.
That was a bit tough.
That hurts my heart.
It
Here.
does. It hurts mine. It
Amel?
hurts mine a lot.
So 1, 2, 3. 1, Bayonetta 2 because I have a huge boner for Platinum, apparently. 2, Dragon Age Inquisition because the next closest thing to me would be Mass Effect, and Justin's been saying very good things about both. And 3, Shadow of Mordor just because it's there. And, well, I haven't played it.
It'd be very fascinating if all of our lists were different concatenations. I don't think that's possible, but...
I think max is like 6 and there's 5 of us, so...
All right, Andrew.
I think I would. I've played Shadow of Mordor and Dragon Age 2, but I think I just like the idea of Bayonetta 2 better. And then it would go Dragon Age, and then Shadows of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor. Mordor.
Well, mine is Bayonetta 2, Shadow of Mordor, Dragon Age.
Wow. You took mine and flipped it.
I don't know if Dragon Age is my type of game.
Oh.
I
All
don't
right,
feel
so
comfortable putting it
basically,
ahead of anything.
if it's first, it's 3 points. If it's last, it's 1 point. We're going to do this numerically, and this will be our top 3.
This
I
guy, his
swear to
numbers.
God, if it's a tie...
It'll be a tie.
Three-way tie.
Wait, how did I take yours and flip it, Amel? I didn't take yours and flip it.
As in 2 and 3.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant
Not the
like,
whole thing,
well,
sorry.
if I flipped it, then...
You basically didn't flip it. You just
Yeah, learn English, man.
you just
I
like
have a degree, I swear.
you just had a different ordering of 3 different things.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, shut up. Let Justin do his fancy. Enough ridicule.
It's not how we work.
Whatever, we spent like 20 minutes making fun of Justin and Portal.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. Best comparison of the show.
All
Unless
right,
the end
so coming in number 3 is Shadow of Mordor.
Really? Oh.
Coming in number 2 is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Suck it!
What?
And as a result, number 1 is a game that
No,
none of
no,
us played
no,
except
no,
for
no,
Alex.
This is the best. I have influence.
Bayonetta 2.
Oh man.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
For naming a game we've never played.
Although really, they're all great games, and you
Wait,
should
what
all
was
be
the,
playing
what's like
them.
the score thing here? I
It was a point value for 9 for Shadow of Mordor, 10 for Dragon Age Inquisition, and 11 for Bayonetta 2.
Oh wow.
I figured they'd be off by like 1 number each. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. Not
So-
what I expected though.
So congratulations, Bayonetta 2. It looks like I'm buying a Wii U.
Seriously, man.
You definitely have influence, Alex.
It is.
Yeah. So who's your friend, man? We should go and play some Bayonetta 2.
I don't know if you want to come all the way to Oshawa, man. I can hook you up. With
I'll do it.
Oshawa.
Bring Justin with me.
Yeah, that's a good point. But anyways, that concludes our award show. If you're living anywhere in Canada, you'll realize that this is actually like 11:38 right now. We all have jobs, we all have school,
Things
so
to do.
we have things to do. So we are dead tired, but we are now gonna get some rest. Tweet at us in our live stream. If you're in YouTube, the Twitter is down there. We'll post a blog about all of our results. I've been copying it all down as we've been saying it. Tweet at us or in the comment section of this video. what would have been your top 5? Do you think we made the right choice for our top 3?
No.
No. So, yeah, tweet at us. Oh, maybe games that, we completely forgot about. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to say because I would have probably completely forgotten about it. But, games that you thought that deserve special recognition, let us know. We would like to know about it and maybe even play it.
Oh, and did you know you should probably tweet at us?
You should probably tweet at us.
I said it like 4 times.
Please.
No.
Please.
Please. Just get closer and closer to the mic each time.
So yeah, that's it. I didn't figure out an outro for this. So
That's okay. Happy
yeah.
2015.
Happy 2015
Happy
to
New Year!
We're finished. We got this.
Here's to a less shitty year with more games that we'll actually play.
Evan's so
Evan wasn't wearing
frustrated.
pants.
Oh man,
Evan doesn't wear pants.
I remember sending him a Facebook challenge to name his top 10 games of all time. He just stressed out and just couldn't do it.
Well, you saw what happened when Shadow of Mordor didn't win. He's just like,
Evan's pretty relaxed. When that's how you get him stressed.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it from us.
Well, quite frankly, I voted that way just to bother Evan. I was secretly calculating the votes in my head, and
I didn't even know you were voting.
Oh, I didn't think you could hear me anymore.
He can
All
still
right.
hear you.
Oh no.
He has wireless headset.
Oh
You
crap.
can listen to us in the bathroom.
I can pee in the bathroom too.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, have a good night or have a good day. That does it for us. We will return to our regular programming Friday at noon deployments or uploads.
This doesn't work.
This doesn't work, but I will have to go to work tomorrow. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Band-Aid doesn't cover bullet holes.